starring Florence Pugh, Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde, and Chris Pine, amongst others as well, also directed by Olivia Wilde. In this movie, Florence Pugh and Harry Styles are husband and wife. They live in this 1950s style town called Victory. It's a town that's run by Chris Pine, and basically it follows a 1950s kind of lifestyle. You know, the husbands leave for the day to go work for Chris Pine in the business of whatever it is they're doing, and the wives, such as Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde, they stay home and tend to the home, cook, clean, all that fun stuff. As time goes on though, Florence Pugh begins to suspect that Chris Pine is hiding a very dark, sinister secret about Victory that's causing everyone else to believe that she's going crazy. When I saw the trailer for this movie, I was actually very interested in it. It kind of seemed like a darker, more thriller version of The Truman Show. You have this character that thinks they're just living their life in a small town, and then as time goes on, you quickly discover that there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. So I'll get right into what works for this movie. The entire cast does well, but Florence Pugh is absolutely the star of this show. She's quickly establishing herself as one of the best actresses working it today. She just crushes it in this movie. You buy into her as this loving, caring wife to Harry Styles. You also buy into her when she's losing it a little bit, when she's suspecting some really fishy stuff going on. She nailed every aspect of her character that she needed to nail, and she 100% is the best part of this movie. Her performance is fantastic. And I will say this much about the movie. I think Olivia Wilde had a very good idea when it came towards the movie. You know, you take these characters, you put them in this town, something weird's going on, only one character is aware of it. And I will even say this much. For about the first third of the movie, or really I guess you could say the first act, whatever you want to call it, I was really enjoying the movie. I enjoyed seeing where the characters were at. I enjoyed seeing the dynamic between Harry Styles and Florence Pugh, which I actually enjoyed. Soon enough into the movie, you start getting a little bit more into the mystery, and I am intrigued in the mystery, and I am wondering exactly what it is that's going on here. The thing, however, is it's one thing to have a really good idea for a movie. Executing that idea is a whole nother level, and that's something I think Olivia Wilde really didn't know what she was doing here. This movie really falls apart as it goes along. As I mentioned, the first act of the movie, it introduces you to the mystery. You're getting on board with it. You know, you're introduced to the characters. You're getting on board with some of them, namely Florence Pugh. But what makes a great thriller kind of mystery sort of movie is the buildup of a mystery. You know, finding certain clues here and there, and finding little trinkets that get the wheels spinning. Stuff that makes you theorize what's going on. The entire second act of this movie is just a little bit of stuff happening here and there. You know, some might argue it's stuff that, you know, Florence Pugh is just tripping about, or it's stuff that's really happening. But at no point is there something, is there a little nugget or a little clue in the second act that gets your wheels spinning and gets you theorizing about what it is that's happening. Because you feel like every moment it's just rinse and repeat. You know, the husbands leave to go to work, Florence Pugh is at home with the rest of the wives. You know, some stuff's happening here and there, but not enough to get you wondering what it is. It's just further confirming that something's wrong with this place, but because we see everything from the perspective of Florence Pugh, we already knew something was wrong. Trying to get us to theorize or speculate what was wrong, that's what this movie did not do a good job of at all. And that's why when you get to the third act of the movie, when the big reveal is shown about what Victory really is and like whatever the secret might be, it's not really like a holy shit moment, because the reality is you had no idea what it was. And the problem is you're kind of just now sitting there in acceptance, like, yeah, I mean, I want to see a twist, so just fucking hit me with whatever you got. And I gotta really tell you, the final act of this movie is really what makes it fall apart for me. I mean, basically, you know what Victory is at this point. You know, Florence Pugh has figured everything out, and she's gonna do what she's gonna do. But I gotta tell you, as the third act of this movie is going on, and even well after you leave the movie, you quickly begin to realize there are so many plot holes in this movie that are not wrapped up. Even the final shot of this movie, you're still left with a billion different questions. This movie has an extremely abrupt ending. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, shit's going down, Florence Pugh's back is really against the wall here, and then, you know, the movie just ends. And I'm just sitting there like, really? That's what we're leaving it off at. Okay, let's go. Let's beat the traffic. But now you're immediately sitting there like, okay, so this happened. Why? That happened. What does that have to do with anything? What does this now mean? Like, what's going to happen at this point? You are left with a billion different questions, and you're sitting there like, I have no clarity to anything. You cannot create a psychological thriller mystery kind of movie with a billion different questions at the end of it. And none of this is like, it's up to your own interpretation. It's nothing like that. There's no fun in that with this movie. You're just sitting there like, I need you to explain to me what happened here. There's no clarity, there's no closure, the movie just ends. So all in all, don't worry, darling. It had its potential, but it was a sloppy mess. Florence Pugh is great in the movie. She really does her best to really carry this movie on her back. That much is certain. I was intrigued with the setting. I was initially intrigued with the mystery. I was on board with solving this and figuring out what was going on. The problem is the middle act of this movie, it's a whole lot of nothing that really unfolds or really, gives you to try to indulge for yourself in. And the final act of this movie, while it gives you the answer to the mystery, it doesn't solve any of the other plot points that happened in the movie that you're probably going to be wondering about well after the movie. And in the end, I guess the jury's still out on Olivia Wilde as a director because this isn't exactly going to inspire confidence for a lot of people. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.